Are you gay? Do you know someone who's gay? If you answered yes to either question, hi, I'm Parker, and this is Parker's Pointless Podcast, where every week I talk about some pointless thought that was floating around in my little noggin. These topics will range from pop culture to film and television, to politics, and to things happening in my own personal life, all of which I am not qualified to speak on, but because I am gay and delusional, I find the confidence and conviction within me to speak as if I am a professional. On today's episode, we'll be talking about the best ship of all, not the Titanic, but Miss Friendship, as I am joined by my bestie, Miss Danya El-Kurd. Let's get into the episode. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Parker's Pointless Podcast. It's me, Parker, the girly, the pop, the diva, the doll. But y'all already knew that, and you literally all wish I was dead. So anyways, let's move on to the guest of the hour that we have here today. In the studio today with me, as you probably have gathered from the intro, I have one of my avid listeners, one of my avid followers, and truly my bestie for the last 11 years. In the studio today, we have my girly pop, Miss Danya El-Kurd here. Hello. As you all may have gathered from the last name, or if you just know me in general, Danya is the older sister to other bestie of the pod, Miss Yasmin, who was here many episodes ago. So I'm so honored and happy to have you here today, Diva.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Let me tell you all something. Danya had a gun held to my head like this. And also she kept telling me, like, even before, like, she had even gotten to Orange County, that she's like, I have this fantasy that I'm never going to be on the podcast. And I was like, girl, it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
And here we are now. So I'm so happy that you're here today. And I'm so happy that this episode is happening.
Me too. I truly thought it would never happen, but that's because I'm sick in the head. So
yeah. And she's a Capricorn. So like, it's kind of how it goes.
Kind of scary.
But yeah, so thank you guys all for listening to this episode today. I'm so sorry that this is not coming out on Monday. But, you know, sometimes the best things are a little bit late. So that's all I have to say. But just to preface you guys all for next week, I want to let you all know I will not be putting out a new episode next week because I and Danya and Yasmin are all going to see, as we all already know, because I've been saying it so often, we're going to see Beyonce, as you all probably know, on Monday the 4th. So my day will be so occupied with the thought of mother that I will have nothing else to do but be occupied with that. So I can't put out an episode.
It's actually not Labor Day. It's Beyonce Day.
Yeah. It is Labor Day because Mother gave birth to us.
So
she provided, she went into labor. She was in labor giving birth to us because she's Mother.
Yeah, I would say so.
And it's Beyonce's birthday. So like that's the national holiday that we choose to celebrate here.
Period.
So no new episode next week, but I can tell you the episode that's going to be next is going to be a Renaissance recap episode. So if you are not a Beyonce fan, if you don't listen to Renaissance, if you haven't listened to Renaissance, first of all, you're racist. And second of all, you have no taste. So really get into it.
True.
But other than that, you guys, today's episode is all going to be all about friendship because here, obviously, I have my bestie and me and Danny actually are celebrating our 11-year anniversary of friendship. So, Danny, do you want to like just give a little brief rundown of like how we met?
Yeah,
like, the last 11 years.
It's kind of a sick story, actually. Like we both did community theater at Irvine Valley College, Musical Theater Village, but we didn't do that like together.
Mm-hmm.
But we were just running in the same circles. And when I was doing Grease, the musical at Irvine Valley College, I was in the audition waiting room and this is such a sick story, but like Parker was like, what, 16, 15?
Mm-hmm. 16.
A true child. I was an adult, over 18. And like, I just out of the corner of my eye saw this like little like child kind of like running through the halls.
A twink. You can say it.
A twink. But my sick head, I was like, that guy's kind of cute, which is so, I know, it's so sick. It's actually so sick. But it was giving like first glance, like it was pretty quickly like, oh, this is like a friend vibe, also like gay, also child. Yeah. So I don't really know like how we came to become friends.
Let me tell you, because I remember. So it was during Greece. So this is 2012. You guys take it back to 2012. What was happening at that time? Couldn't tell you. It was re-election year. I don't remember that because
Obama.
I was Obama re-election year, but I don't remember that because I was literally a 16-year-old. So That's like
Couldn't vote.
outside. That was outside of my periphery. But Danya and I were doing Grease together, and this was like into the rehearsal process. We were doing the blocking and choreography for Grease Lightning. We obviously one of the songs in the show, and in that song, as you all, if you've seen the movie, you know it's like all the male leads, principals, and the male ensemble. And I think there's like two men in the ensemble who weren't able to be there that night. So Danya and this other girl stood in for the men and like learned the choreography. And that's like the rehearsal when me and Danya really like we're like being giggly girls.
Yeah.
And then you commented on my Facebook that next night or like either that night or the next day or something like that. And you're like, let's be best friends or like besties. You said something to that effect. And I mean, you manifested that.
Yeah,
so,
I did. But also commenting on your Facebook, kind of scary.
Well, it was 2012.
That's
like
true.
Facebook was like that bitch.
That's so true, bestie.
And so she better work.
Better work.
And then obviously since then, we've just like had so many crazy, silly, goofy adventures. Many adventures that I've talked about on this podcast in the past. Danya has been there. And we'll get into those shortly. But before we get into that, you guys, we have to do Parker's Poppin' Hot Take because you already know. So my hot take of the week is going to be this. Y'all are going too fucking far with the mocktails. It is getting out of hand. Like at this point, it's not a mocktail, bitch. It's a smoothie. Like literally, you're adding all these ingredients to like this drink that you're trying to say is a dupe of a cocktail, but bitch, where? Cocktail where? Like if you added alcohol to that would be something I've never even heard of, seen, or even thought about. So at this point, y'all need to cut it out because I'm sick and tired of seeing it. And I mean, love to see the mocktail. Like there are some mocktails that look genuinely delicious and I would order, but it's taking too many steps too far and y'all are taking too many liberties and I'm kind of sick of seeing it. And you get like tens of thousands of likes, like literally for making a berry smoothie, like get a fucking job, Mary. But that's my hot take of the week. Really extra spicy and period. So that's my hot take. But Danya told me that she has had several prepared.
I have 4.
And so I'm going to let her really get into the beef because she hasn't told me what they are. And me and Danya kind of are 2 walking hot takes. Yeah. So I'm curious to see what you have to say. I just know
the girls are about to fight me on so many
these
hot takes.
Well, let's get it going, doll.
Okay, number 1, vaping has got to go. I don't want to see your weird pink cartoon cartridge like coming out at the wrong times. Like, why am I in the elevator at work and you're pulling out this cartoon looking like truly Barbie vibe.
Toontown looking ass.
Yeah, Toontown looking ass vape. It's like, we've gone too far with vapes.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was just like a little cartridge, fine, a little stick, if you will.
Yeah.
Now it's like a full-blown portable phone charger. I'm like, why does your vape look like my iPhone case? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Also, like, why is it giving flash drive?
It's giving flash drive and it's giving like
floppy
disguise to be able to be taken anywhere. And it's like, I don't want to see that anywhere it shouldn't be. And yet, everywhere I look, there's a damn vape.
Also, I'm like, why wouldn't you want to be smaller? Like, they're bulky and square.
Yeah.
And I'm like, flavors?
Yeah.
And I mean, like I guess I get it.
It's not.
I'm like, why wouldn't you just eat pineapple? Like low key, like not to be that girl, but like just eat pineapple.
Yeah. But then like when it's like getting really crazy, it's like marshmallow, pink, strawberry. I'm like, and for what?
I know, like literally.
You
it's like, girl, it's a rap hun.
Yeah.
It's curtains on those lungs.
Curtains on those lungs.
Drink some Mullen leaf tea, divas, because those lungs are in need, my love.
Yeah, it's like put down the vape and pick up a water bottle. Do you know what I mean?
Put down the vape and pick up the Bible because God's word is stronger than any vape.
Seek God and seek help.
I mean, period.
Yeah.
Seek the church.
Seek the church.
God, John 3:16, my love.
He said, stop vaping, me love.
Okay. So vaping, number 1, it's a scratch for y'all.
Okay.
Number 2.
This one is honestly, I feel like I don't even want to elaborate on it because it speaks for itself.
Okay.
When are we going to stop making revivals and start making new content? Like, period. Movies, Broadway, you heard it here first.
TV, all the above.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't think I need to elaborate. We need to do better.
We need to do better.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. We need to pay our writers a living wage and provide them benefits that actually make sense so we can get some content that's, new and fresh.
Yeah. We need the original content. Mm-hmm. It's gone too far with the revivals and the reboots. Let's actually talk on this for just a second. Okay,
this is for the theater girls out there. So if you're not a theater girl, let this be an educational testimony for you. If I see another fucking revival of Spring Awakening in my lifetime, I will literally burn down New York State.
Yeah. And also like not only are we doing revivals, why are we making a documentary about the making of the revival? It's getting too deep.
Yeah, it's like
too deep.
Too deep, too many layers that no one asked for and no one
Yeah.
needs. And at this point, just give us something new.
Yeah. And like I'm a Sex and the City girly, as we all know, and just like that is a train wreck. I can't look away from it, but it didn't need to be made.
Period. I'm not a Sex and the City gal. I'm not sure for what reason, but it's just not my cup of tea. But we'll talk more on that when we talk about friendship, because that's a gaggle of girls that needs to be discussed.
Yeah, they're all so toxic. Okay, third hot take. Human beings generally need to expand their vocabulary. Like, I'm so happy that you learned one big word, but you're using it wrong, so I'm going to need you to pick up a thesaurus.
A thesaurus, the house doll.
Yeah, like I live for like the internet exposing us to new words, right? Like therapy speak, which Miss Betty mentioned, like it's gotten out of hand. I think even beyond that, just like a word that sounds fun and exciting, and it's like so much bigger than like what your little brain may have been used to.
Right. The little hamster wheels working overtime.
I'm like, but you're not using the word correctly. And you know me, grammar police Capricorn.
Yeah, I was about to say Danya is literally like, the grammar
Miss
police.
Bookworm. I'm like, so you said that wrong. Or you didn't use that correctly in a sentence. Like, come on, spelling bee.
Miss Syntax over here.
Yeah. And I'm just like, enough. Just all you have to do is pick up a thesaurus. Like, it's like what, $3?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Or the internet. Like literally just
free.
Use thesaurus.com.
Google.com. Yeah.
Period, doll.
Yeah, I'm like a little scared for the English language, but I mean, work.
I mean, I would say I do fall victim to this because my vocabulary is limited to the words boots, cunt, slay, and work. And I find myself in conversations with like slay people.
Yeah.
See, I just did it again. Like I find myself in the audience of people who don't understand my vernacular, and I use the lingo that I use regularly, and they're so taken aback and shocked and jarred that I'm just like,
yeah, which like that,
I'm kind of like a supernova.
On the complete opposite end of that hot take, though, is like if I'm speaking in the language that I speak, which is like very much girly pop, slay, love, serve, work, just keep up.
Yeah, I know
what
for
I mean.
real.
Like adapt.
No, like honestly,
you know what
I'm
I mean?
like, I don't understand what you don't get.
Yeah,
I'm like, when I say you ate, what do you mean you don't get it?
Well, I said expand your vocabulary. So like put on that little thinking cap and think, okay, context clues.
Right.
That probably means this or
it's
that.
Because we were in AP English in high school.
Yeah, pick me.
We read Great Gatsby and we annotated it too much.
Yeah, we said the green light, hun.
Yeah. But yeah, so y'all need to really get into it, because if you don't understand what we're saying, that's kind of on you and not on us.
It's not on us. I'm not here to educate you, doll.
Yeah.
The thesaurus, work.
Period. Okay, and you have one more?
My last one, I think I'm going to elaborate on the most.
Okay, period.
But it's about the bathroom, like in my office, but more so just like public bathrooms in a safe like corporate space, or like the mall or the movie theater.
Okay.
Something like that. Why are you sitting there refusing to do your business while I'm in the stall next to you? Like, this is a safe space, me love. Meaning like if there's 2 stalls in a bathroom, like that's already like a more private like environment.
Right.
And like I've gone into the bathroom. Then I hear somebody come into the stall next to me, and they won't even do a little trickle of pee until I'm done. And it's like, it's giving stage fright, but in a way that's like, you obviously had to go to the bathroom and you came here to use the bathroom. It's like, I'm a girly pop, you're a girly pop. Like, I'm not here to judge. Like, this is such a safe environment to do your business.
Yeah, you're like forcing comfort on
you know what I mean?
You're like, so if you're not going to piss around me, then what's the point?
Then you hate me.
Yeah, no, like for real.
But like, then why are you even in a public bathroom? Like, if it's that serious, take the elevator all the way down to the lobby where there's like individual bathrooms, which I know you don't want to do. Like, you know what I mean? Don't inconvenience yourself.
Also, like, to expand upon that too, because I always feel this way when I fart in the bathroom. We're getting really like low rung of the ladder humor here in this little hot take, but it's just needing to be discussed. Where is, like, this is a general question. Where is it publicly acceptable to fart? Because if it's not publicly acceptable just for me to rip ass in the aisles of Walmart, where am I supposed to do it? The bathroom?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in the bathroom. I fucking fart go down boots. And all of a sudden people are looking. It's like, girl.
And people are like, Oh my God.
They're like,
that's what the bathroom's for.
No, like literally.
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, it is kind of, bathrooms need white noise.
Bathrooms need a soundtrack.
I mean, they do. They
Blasting.
need bumpin' soundtrack.
Like the club. The bathrooms
And then you
should
will
be
never
like
hear
the club.
Okay.
Everywhere. My office, the movie theater, corporate
Bus,
America.
club. Another club. Another club.
No sleep. Nobody believed in me.
Yeah, so basically the bathrooms we need a renovation.
Yeah.
An American renovation on the bathrooms.
I think like the Reconstruction era of US history needs
to include the bathrooms.
Okay, for sure.
Reconstruction 2.0.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like we should include that in the Green New Deal.
Yeah.
Okay, work.
Very much that.
Because bathrooms are a little spooky dooky.
Yeah. I'm just like, it's okay. We're all here together. We have the same goal, entering the bathroom as well as exiting. So nobody needs to be shy. Do you know what I mean?
Literally. Also, if you're in a stall, it's like, girl, it's okay.
Like 4 walls, literally. Like you're enclosed.
Yeah, it's just like, go piss, girl.
Shout out to Miss Wendy, Girly Pop McKinsey. If you're listening, I'm talking to you, Wendy. We had the best bathrooms at McKinsey in San Francisco because there was like a wall from the ceiling to the ground. And the stall door was like also, it was just very enclosed. There was no like space.
Oh,
so it was giving like
lose.
It was giving like hold the girl while in the bathroom. Do you know what I mean?
That's so soft and genteel.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, slay.
Yeah.
Any other hot takes you have today?
Honestly, that's it. I feel like those were like covering a wide range of topics.
Okay, work.
You know what I mean?
Per mama.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I have one more because this was actually my original hot take before I thought of the one that I said. But I just feel the need to say it because I think it's kind of funny. And I told you this last night. This is a throwback to the like pop culture from like 3 or 4 weeks ago. Y'all were so overreactionary to the whole Ariana Grande news. Like, I'm so sorry, but like literally, who cares? Like, not to endorse cheating because like literally, that I don't endorse that. But also like, I can promise you, all your faves, literally every single one of your faves has probably slept with a married man or vice versa.
I mean, work.
So like, literally, at the end of the day, it's not illegal.
And here's the thing:
she wasn't like white collar crime. She wasn't laundering money. She wasn't.
That's so true.
She wasn't
bestie.
like murdering children and like kicking puppy dogs square in the skull. She was just like sucking dick and cock, which honestly, like I have to say, I stand. Yeah. SpongeBob, that's blocked, but
blocked. I mean, I think what people need to understand is like part of being in toxic stan culture, like is supporting your girls. And I support Ari. I stand by Ari. And you can interpret that how you want, but like the girl just came out with the 10-year anniversary. Like we're living. That's more important than SpongeBob.
No, it's literally. Also, like I said this when it was happening, and I still say it now. I never cared. I was like, girl, eat. You better go off.
I kind of just like, I was like, okay.
It's none of my business.
Yeah, like next order of business.
And I just personally think it's probably not true anyways, because there's no actual like verifiable, anything
the
to prove that.
really want to do their thing.
Yeah. And I'm just kind of like.
And there is so much power in like not acknowledging.
No, literally.
And I love, that's what makes it so much better.
Unbothered.
Because people are like clenching their fists and veins are popping out of their foreheads because they want something to be said and they want like the offenders to make a statement. And I'm like, okay, but they're not going to, so move along.
Also, it's like, this is not a crime. Like, they don't need to make a public statement because they did not commit a crime.
Exactly.
Like, the court of public opinion is just
Can you imagine making a press conference? Like, why? Why would they waste their time? They have so many other better things to do.
I'm sorry that I was a hussy and a whore.
Yeah.
But I did what I needed to do.
I'm sorry that I'm a woman with needs. Yeah.
Yeah. My husband is in the United States and I was in the UK. Yeah.
I'm Glenda. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, Ariana Grande, I'm a stan of you always and forever.
Yeah,
and
we live for our queen.
You do whatever you want to do, girl, with whoever you want to do it with, because that's none of my business.
That's true.
And yours truly, 10-year anniversary, really chews, eats, and literally spits out like blood, doll.
God, so sick.
If you haven't listened to the 10-year anniversary of yours truly, are you even a stan?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not.
All right, y'all. Well, let's get into the episode. We're talking all about friendship today. Because me and Danya have been friends for literally eons at this point. And our friendship has gone through so many different like chapters and sagas. So we're here to talk all about that today.
Yeah.
Which before we get into it, I don't want any of y'all thinking that me and this bitch have been fighting, because I don't think me and Danya have ever actually gotten into a fight before.
I honestly,
I think we've maybe like at the max, like gotten into like a little like scuffle.
yeah,
But
and
like
it's about like silly things.
no, like, and it's honestly never has been in person. It's always over
It's
text.
always over text,
Because
which is like the
we're-
first place to scuffle.
We're keyboard warriors.
Yeah, we're like,
We're like anger.
yeah,
So, but we've never gotten in a fight.
yeah,
So basically, you should model our friendship like us.
yeah.
Or
We
else.
are the blueprint,
I mean, period.
the pink print, if you will.
So it started back in Greece, 2012.
Grease. Not the country, the musical.
The musical Grease.
Yeah.
Shoo bop, shoo wada wada, yibbity boom doo boom, baby.
Oh my god.
Danya played Jan. I was in the ensemble. I was 16 years old, fresh, young,
Limber.
twink.
Ready to do those double pirouettes.
Honey, I was ready. And a young little sprightly little young lass.
Yeah.
Not out of the closet. That's really truly the gag.
Oh my
knowing
god,
it.
yeah.
And wow, I mean, Greece came and went. It was such a fun little time for the both of us.
Yeah, I think our first friend date was going to Ruby's for breakfast.
Oh, period. You
Yeah.
guys, Ruby's,
Ruby's
which
Diner.
Jenny has worked at Ruby's Diner, so you can speak on that if you want. But
I live. That's all I have to say.
it was really, really, truly a wacky on. We went and got brunch at Ruby's
Yeah.
before our Sunday matinee.
Yeah.
It was giving like Irvine's core.
Yeah, Woodbridge.
Like
Center
the
Core.
Ruby's on the lake. If you've ever been there, it's
You
truly
know,
something else.
It's not there anymore, which is really sad.
Oh, rip Ruby's.
I know.
But yeah, so we went, that's like our first friend date. And then this is really, it was a product of its time because I would not be this way anymore. But we were Disneyland, like APs to the max.
Yeah.
Like we were there, we were raging and we were going off.
We were going off. We were Disney girls and Miranda Sings girls.
Okay.
Honestly. Yeah, scary.
I don't want you to cancel us because we can understand that what has been occurring is not appropriate. But we are going to talk in depth about our obsession with Miranda Sings.
Yeah.
So when did it begin?
I mean, I think like in the downtime of rehearsals, we just were like impersonating Miranda Sings and taking on her persona.
Yes.
And it became,
Oh.
it became like what's the word? Like a personality trait. It was like only Miranda Sings. Everything we said, everything we sang, it was like, oh, we're going to do Grease as Miranda Sings. We're going to do this as Miranda Sings.
Yeah.
I think everyone around us like was living, but also wanted to kill us.
No,
at the same
I
time.
think it's murder.
Yeah.
It's murder, mom.
Yeah.
But like let's be honest. If you are a, young person in the years of 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15,
Yeah.
like YouTube was bussin'.
Yeah.
That was like when not influencers, but like
makeup girlies.
makeup girl. That's when like people started becoming famous on
Yes.
YouTube, and like that's when it became a platform that people gave a shit about and like would subscribe to. So it was a product of its time.
That's so
So it's
true.
not our fault. It's their
not
fault.
our fault. And we didn't know. Like, please.
Yeah, and it was also like something about it was just funny. Sorry,
It was so funny.
Like something about Miranda Sings to this day is still funny to me. Like I will giggle.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's kind of like a private giggle.
no, like it's like not public because I don't want people to think that
Yeah.
I'm endorsing
Like,
anything.
don't cancel
anything.
us, please.
But I'm like, I do kind of live.
Yeah. And then we did Footloose, the musical together.
Yes, we did.
In which I feel like the Miranda Sings obsession heightened.
Oh, to the maximum.
And then we hosted a Halloween party for the cast at my house. Where you and I both dressed up as Miranda Sings. And we kind of ate down. Like,
oh, no, like for real.
the red sweatpants, the blue striped shirt, the crazy hair, the lipstick. We were so committed to the character that there was a point that my mom was like, please stop talking like that. She was so done. She was so done with us.
And I've actually been to like a couple Halloween parties as Miranda Sings because it's a costume that's so easy.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny.
And it's literally, and you can just commit to the character and people are like,
and it's like you don't have to do any of your own work.
no, literally.
You know?
And it's just the voice and like you can kind of say whatever.
Yeah.
Because she's like so untethered that you can really say anything.
True.
So Footloose happened, Disney like AP days.
Mhm.
Annual pass holder if you don't know what AP stands for. And then Miranda Sings, like that was truly like the core of those years.
Yes.
And then in that time we also did Godspell together when I graduated high school. So it's truly a full theatrical little time for the two of us.
Yeah, it really was.
And then it was in Footloose when I came out of the closet.
Word.
And Danny and I have two different stories about this because Danny says it happened.
At
So
McDonald's.
we have it agreed upon the same day and same like
Location.
time frame, but it's the location that differs because you
Mhm.
say it happened at McDonald's,
Mhm.
which It's giving theatrical.
Well, it's
like,
also
the
giving
theater
on
kids.
brand for both of us.
Yeah, it's true. And then I say it happened in the car when we got back from McDonald's. But I mean, to each their own. But either way, gay, honey.
Hi, gay.
Were you shocked? I mean, obviously you weren't shocked, but did you? I don't remember. Were you acting like?
No, I was just kind of like, okay, like calm reaction.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
You're like, yeah, okay.
Like we've been new, but also I don't know. I just feel like having an extreme reaction to something like that is like not appropriate. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
It's just kind of.
You were like comforting.
Yeah, like be supportive and just like listen and be like, okay, thank you for telling me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that is so slay of us.
I know. It's like because it's like an honor to be on the receiving end of that because it's like someone's trusting you. So like, be nice.
Aww.
You know?
Oh my gosh, so nice. Thanks. Oh, really fun. Let me see what else Okay, cool. So yeah, that's kind of like the core of the beginning chunk.
Yeah, where we're both like truly children.
Yeah,
you know,
and we were like kind of like, and we junior college topped around.
Yeah,
we were at Irvine Valley College. We were at Saddleback College. I went to Fullerton College. Like we were kind of here, there, and everywhere.
We were kind of like the celebrities of the community college circuit, if you will.
If you will.
You know what I mean?
I don't know if you will, but if you will.
If you will.
And then we were over at Saddleback College doing theater as well after that, which is just wild. Like if you've ever done theater, musical theater specifically, that shit is crazy, especially in like a collegiate setting. It's kind of wacky doodle.
So fun.
So yeah, then you transferred up to San Francisco State.
I sure did in 2015.
No, wait, not SFSU.
Yeah.
SFSU. Oh, it's UCSF. That's the medical school, right?
Yeah. Hi, smart.
Hi, smart. So you went to FSS. You can say it.
SFSU.
Period. And
Go Gators.
You lived up. How long were you in San Francisco living there for?
7 years.
Work, doll.
Yeah, long time.
And I feel like that really like set a new era of our friendship.
That's so true.
Because that was like long distance vibes. Even though like San Francisco's not really that far away, it's like enough distance to be like you can't just go there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like, oh, well, you're in LA, I'm in San Diego. Yeah. It's like you're far.
It's a 6-hour drive.
I mean, period.
Yeah.
Or a 45-minute flight, depending on pick your poison.
True.
But we've had so many crazy adventures up in San Francisco because like it's just the name of the game.
Yeah.
Should we talk about some of them?
Yeah.
Right now? Okay.
Like the Castro, my birthdays, plural.
Girl. So let's start with the Castro.
Okay.
So the Castro, if you're unfamiliar, is a street in San Francisco, Castro Street. It is where like all the gay bars are at. It's like a gay neighborhood.
Very historic.
Very historic. Harvey Milk, gay history galore up in there. And it's where all the gay bars are. And one of the first bars we tried to go to, I think I was 20.
Yeah.
I was either 19 or 20.
You were definitely
I was 20. I was not 21. And we tried to go to the bars because we were like, let's just see. Because we wanted to go out dancing. We wanted to have a good time. And girly pop, we got refused the house down boots.
Did we get in and then they realized you were underage and then they kicked us out? That was really sad.
Yeah, because we went to, and it was like a bar that was like an arcade.
Yes, it was. I recall.
Which is so silly, I guess. But I showed them my ID and he let me in.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I was like, wait a second.
And then he came back out for me. I think it's because my reaction gave it away.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was like so excited. I was like, he didn't notice. Oh my gosh, he didn't notice. I'm like young. And then he's like, wait, bitch, you need to get out. And then
and it's like, we're at an arcade. It's not like we were at like some crazy club. Like he should have just let us stay.
Literally. And I was just like, I promise I won't drink. I promise I won't drink alcohol. And then, but I got kicked out. My ass got yeeted out of there.
Yeah.
But then I turned 21 shortly after. And then that's when the Castro really turned into something else, doll.
Yeah.
You should tell the story of my ID.
Oh my God. Okay, so we were trying to go to a bar, like a one of the dancing fun bars, probably Badlands,
which also is reopening.
Such a good bar. If you don't know, now you know. So we were trying to get into this bar, but we needed to get cash for the cover. So we went to the CVS to do like a little cash back moment because there was no bank, there's no ATM. And then you dropped your ID, but you didn't know you did.
Yes.
And then somebody like followed you who had found the ID and they were like, excuse me, you lost your ID. And Parker was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Like it was so nice of them to give us the ID back. But there was a catch, me love. And this person was like, so you're going to give me money because I found your ID. And Parker was like, hello? Like it was giving ransom.
No, like, and I had like a little bit of cash on me. Like, I think I had like $10 in once or something like that because I wanted to like make sure I had it for cover if there was a cover.
Yeah.
And I was like, or I was either there or I was at the CVS like buying. I remember what it was. I was literally standing at the counter at CVS.
Yes.
Because I was getting cash back because I needed cash. And then he saw that. And then he saw that. He's like, so how much money are you going to give me? And I was like, girl, wait.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I don't. And I was like young. So I was like not able to like be like, girl, no ma'am, give me my ID back or else I will call the cops.
And also like in those situations, what else would you have done? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And he was living on the street. So he was, and he was giving I don't want to like generalize, but he seemed a little like he might beat my ass a little.
Yeah.
So I was like, and I was a young dainty doll. So I was like, I don't want to get my ass beat up in the CVS. Mm-hmm. So I think I gave him like $10 or something like that. And it was
Didn't he want more?
Yes. And I was like, girl, I don't have more money.
Like, I just gave you what I took out.
Yeah. Well,
that was wild.
Honestly, sir, if you're watching this podcast, which I literally know that you're not, but I'm just like sending this out into the universe. I hope that $10 really served you well.
Yeah.
I really hope you ate with that.
Yeah, literally ate.
But then we had a crazy other adventures. We went on a boat in the bay, which
boat is like a very generous term. It was like a flat, like,
it's like a
floating,
dinghy.
like bog.
No, literally for my birthday. It was for my birthday,
and it was like where you could drink, so that also added a crazy element.
It was like a booze cruise, but the boat was like could probably fit maybe 12 people on it max. No, maybe more.
There was a lot because remember I got in a fight with a group of people. One thing about me is like I'm always gonna fight someone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fighter. And I don't know why because like they were cutting. It was first come, first serve. And it was Marina Bros, if you know, you know. And I was like, excuse me, we were here first, but then it like became a verbal altercation and we got our way.
Yeah. Well, and also I'm like a very, I would say maybe a little bit less so now, but especially at that time, I'm like a very non-confrontational person. Like if someone is going to do something, I'm probably just going to let them because I'm like, girl, I don't care. As long as I can still get what I need, I don't care. But like they cut us in line and Danny was like, I don't want to say you were on one, but girl, you were ready to go.
Like fists were bared.
You were Arthur fisting and you were about ready to fucking swing up on these bitches.
Yeah.
And I was like this.
And I think what's funny to note is I've actually never gotten in a physical fight, but it's the way I'm always ready in case I need to.
Yeah.
Because I start with the words and then if we need to escalate.
Shakespearean,
to the fist. Yeah. It's giving like silver-tongued devil.
It's giving like Romeo and honestly, if music be the food of love, play on.
Yeah.
It's
true.
It's like, it's giving Romeo and Juliet, Benvolio and Mercutio.
Yeah. Yeah.
Almost like I wrote that myself because I am Shakespeare or something.
True.
But yeah, so we were on this boat and it was like a little dinghy, you guys. And if you've been in the bay, like in the actual water of like
the San Francisco Bay,
it's not smooth, my love. It's not smooth seas.
So choppy.
Windy, overcast,
like wet air,
like
humid.
It's not like you're in Mykonos, my love.
No.
It's giving.
It's not Lindsay Lohan DJing. It's like Titanic.
Yeah,
lifeboat.
It's giving Alcatraz.
Yeah.
Like you wish you were there because it's
was
safer.
giving like we were being carted off to Alcatraz.
Oh, but it felt like it.
Yeah.
And we were going over these waves, you guys, and like I'll post the video because the video of us on this boat is so fucking crazy because we were getting our asses yeeted.
Yeah.
All the way around.
And Chelsea, fearing for her life, wrapped in a blanket, like screaming at the top of her lungs. My sister, you and I, who else? I feel like there was like...
Was Lyric there?
Possibly. It was just a group of people that were all ill-equipped for a full-blown whitewater rapids ride.
No, and we thought we were going to sink because it felt like it. And the captain was just like...
Yeah.
Unbothered.
I was like, do you have a license for this? Or
no,
what?
But for real.
Nobody was wearing life jackets, but they were hopefully available on board.
Well, we made it through.
So
all that matters is that we're alive here today. Thank God. Because, girl, the life flashed before my eyes.
Yeah.
Let's see did I have anything else?
I'm so scared. I feel like I know what this next story is.
I have two stories from the San Francisco chapter. I think we should end this. We'll end it with the really good one, but we're going to talk about sardines. Because me and Danya were not sober We'll put it that way. And we were going from downtown, I think, to the Castro.
Yeah, we needed to take a Muni.
Yeah, we were on like the Muni. It was one of the underground ones. So it was especially like not claustrophobic, but it was
just different.
dainty on a Grande.
Yeah.
And if you've been on the Muni before, it's like a lot less cars. It's not like a subway which has like 10 cars. It was a late running Muni too. So there's 2 cars of this like transportation device, if you will. And so the dolls were crammed.
Yeah. Like if there's no room to sit, you're standing and you're pressed up against the wall.
Yeah. It was giving.
Yeah.
And me and Danya were like standing, holding onto the rail, like face to face, like literally me with the microphone right now. And we were like feeling a little goofy and twisted.
Silly.
And so we were like just being like silly in public. And then we started singing to the tune of Jolene by Dolly Parton.
Mm-hmm.
Should we sing it for the audience today? 5, 6, 7, 8. Sardines, 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 sardines.
But we didn't go.
We never finished the song.
That was it. On a loop.
But literally, we were looping that, which is very evidence of how
like sick in the head.
Sick in the head we just really were in the moment and just in general, because we just kept, and we thought that was like
the funniest thing ever.
We thought we could have sold out Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, it was giving like, am I a lyricist?
No, it was like kind of giving like Taylor Swift found dead.
It was like giving best new artist at the VMAs.
Oh, like for real. It was giving like EGOT status.
Yeah.
And the bitches couldn't take it. And we thought we were so funny. And telling the story right now is kind of still proof that we kind of still think that we are.
Because it's like people are probably watching and they're like,
girl, yeah, okay.
They're like, and why'd you need to tell that? Should have kept it in here.
Yeah. The drafts, me love. Yeah. Keep it in the drafts.
The drafts, me love. Mm-hmm.
And this final story, this is like a really, truly iconic story. And I feel like I've told many people this story, but this happened on your 25th birthday.
25th birthday. Mm-hmm.
Which
was like a weekend of events.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this was brunch. So, the girls got to get brunch.
And the girls got bottomless mimosas.
Do you remember where it was?
I want to say it was Sweet Maple in San Francisco.
Which also, you guys, if you've ever been to San Francisco, first of all, San Francisco is one of my favorite cities, like literally in the world. Haven't been there since before the pandemic, so maybe I need to go back. But San Francisco has the best, in my opinion, breakfast and brunch.
Oh,
period.
Full
hands
stop.
down.
Full stop.
Because there's so many options, so many amazing places of all price ranges.
Yeah.
It's really cunty on a Grande. So it was a Sunday brunch.
Mm-hmm.
Your 25th birthday.
The same day as the Women's March.
Same day as the Women's March.
Yeah. High feminism.
We stand with women.
We stand with
women's
women.
rights and women's wrongs. We stand with them. And it was like one of the I don't want to say first women's marches because that's like
it was like pretty,
but it was like early on
yeah.
in like the marches that happened every year.
Yes.
And we were at brunch, okay. And I think I was like freshly 21. No, because you're 25. So I was like fresh 21.
Yeah. Just kind of like exploring what you liked and what you didn't like in terms of like drinks.
Right. And what I could handle and what I couldn't. Mm-hmm. And this is a story about what I couldn't. So we were at brunch, okay?
I'm so scared.
Which, if you know, you know. Bottomless mimosas are a work of Satan.
Yes.
Champagne is a work of the devil. Any alcohol that has bubbles, you're going to jail, doll. Because that shit will get you twisted and bent out of shape in about 2 seconds flat.
I have something to say.
Okay.
Sidebar.
Okay, sidebar.
I don't think mimosas are good. And I don't think anyone likes a mimosa. I think you're lying and you're faking it. It's kind of like beer. Like you're just getting it for, you're just getting
our mimosas
the new beer?
They're beer for the girlies.
For the girlies.
Because beer is for the men and mimosas are for the girls.
Exactly. So I think that people are just doing it for like
attention,
but also like fitting in, like socially conditioned to be like, well, you have to have a mimosa at brunch. So if I'm not having one, everyone hates me. Kind of like the social experiment of it all. Like, well, everyone's getting bottomless, I have to, but everyone is inside. They're like, I hate it.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Like Arthur fisting.
Yes, exactly.
Well, to each their own. But if you like champagne, girl,
I love champagne. I don't love champagne with orange juice in it. Because it's like putting a bumper sticker on a Ferrari, me love. You know what I mean?
Work. I mean, I understand, but like, what about the girlies that think it tastes better?
A champagne on its own, if you know what's good for you, is like opulent and elegant and smooth on its own. So you're making it sick and nasty with a Tropicana orangeade. Like that's so sick.
Well, okay, I will amend this statement with this. I think champagne is good mixed with other things, but more cocktail-based beverages.
Okay, work.
Like I think
Like a spritzer?
it needs more than just orange juice, personally. Because at work, there's like the strawberry plug. There's a strawberry basil fizz at the restaurant I work at that's really, truly like
That sounds way better than a mimosa. That's like, I feel like that's fine.
Okay. Well, we're going to end this tangent because we need to get back to the story.
Yeah, it's getting crazy.
Okay, so back to the story. So we were having bottomless mimosas, which is a recipe for disaster.
Mm-hmm.
I also had French toast for breakfast, which is a bad combination because if champagne has a lot of sugar, fruit juice has a lot of sugar, French toast has a lot of sugar, which all adds up to me having an upset tummy, me love. And I really was so turned and twisted from all the champagne that I drank because I had many glasses that I was not well, honey. And I was sitting at the table. Danny was down on the end of the table. I was like towards the middle.
Yeah.
And honey, what was down was up. And I knew that it was going to happen because when you're going to you're going to vomit, usually within a minute of it, the like, girl, SOS, save our ship, gotta go.
Yeah.
I knew that it was going to happen. Okay. I was so turned. I literally looked around. I turned around in my chair and I looked at the bathroom sign and I was like, there it is. How do I get there? I don't know how to walk. I don't know how to get to the bathroom. What do I do? So what I did, the cup in front of me, honey bunny, that was my receptacle of my vomit. I threw up at the table into a cup.
But I want to say, like, in the most subtle and respectful way that you can for something so foul and unacceptable.
I really ate with that.
Yeah.
Kind of a
really
little.
respected the service staff on that day.
I did. And I was like really like, and none of it got on the table. None of it like,
yeah.
And if you know, I'm a howler monkey when I fucking vomit. And in that moment I wasn't. Because usually when I throw up, it's a fully staged theatrical production of Les Miserables set in French. Like it's me screaming when I'm throwing up. And in this moment I was like, but
it was dainty.
It was a dainty little moment. And then the girlies knew. Like everyone looked and they're like,
but it was still news to me when it was like telephone, like because I was at the end of the table and somebody was like, Danya, Parker's throwing up in cups. And I was like, what am I supposed to do about it? You know what I mean?
And so someone took me to the bathroom.
Yeah.
One of the girlies took me to the bathroom and I tried to grab the cup. I specifically remember trying to grab the cup to take it because I wanted to dump it in the toilet because I didn't want like the people who worked there to have to like deal with that because that's foul. Nice. But they're like, no, Parker, leave it. And I was like, no, I know. And then we went to the Women's March because women. So, and I walked it off.
It was real. Yeah. You were like, fine.
But I did throw up one more time outside of the Burger King. So, Champagne and I are no longer friends. We're no longer besties because that bitch is rotted.
Yeah.
So,
being traumatized.
That was the final SF story. It was like truly, I threw up at the table, which is drama.
Yeah.
So, that's SF chapter. Then after Danya was living in San Francisco, she lived in LA for a short stint.
Yeah,
which was a whole experience.
Yeah.
But we won't get into. But then since her chapter in LA, she now has moved. She's in her Sex in the City era. And would you like to tell us, like, tell the dolls what's the tea, honey?
I live in New York City and I am loving it. I am truly in my Carrie Bradshaw, Samantha Jones era. We live, laugh, love. I mean, I love New York. You happen to be able to like visit me because you were there for a family thing. And then you and I hung out with our other friends and we saw Once Upon a One More Time. And
Period.
It was like, I felt like so fresh still there.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, because it was May. It was May and you had moved there in January.
Yeah.
So it was like truly fresh.
Truly fresh. And I'm still like very new to New York, but I mean, it's kind of like I was always meant to be there.
And it's kind of giving Rachel Berry.
Well, yeah, unfortunately. But more so like I'm in my like mature era. So like woman, like Sex in the City. Like all I need is a good pair of Manolos and catch me running through the puddles with the theme song of Sex in the City playing. Like, gotta go. Yeah. With like a little hat a little gown, if you will. That's so me.
That's so me.
That's so me.
Eating your oysters.
Oh, girl.
Because if y'all want to know anything about Danya El-Kurd, is that this bitch has mercury poisoning, and I'm convinced. Because this bitch stays eating oysters.
I stay eating, period.
I mean, well, true, but also like oysters specifically. Like Danya, like her Instagram is like very aesthetic. It's very like girly pop, like zoomed in, but like in a way that's like satisfying for the eye. And this bitch will always have oysters on her Instagram story.
And now it's a bit because I'm like, I know that I'm going to get a DM from Parker immediately after posting. So I get ahead of it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, mercury poisoning, or like, I love mercury.
Yeah.
Like,
so if this bitch ends up dead in the morgue, honey, it's giving mercury poisoning.
Here's the thing. I'm still standing. I'm still sitting. And I love an oyster. Although I will say the doctor recently told me like to try to avoid shellfish if I can, because I did tell her like I'm a huge oyster lover, and she was like, I mean, maybe like not as much because like hello. And I was like, you're so right, but I'm saving the oysters for Italy, which I will be there next week. So
okay, well, Miss Italiano over here,
Miss World Traveler,
Miss Hey Mambo Mambo Italiano. Okay, another story just popped into my brain, you guys. There's just like, over the last 11 years, we just have so many stories.
Yeah.
So me and Danny went and saw, speaking of Hey Mambo Mambo Italiano, the only Italian-American in the United States of America, a.k.a. Stephanie Germanotta, which if you don't know is Lady Gaga. We saw her jazz residency in Vegas, which is happening again.
Yeah.
For a short little stint, if you have the opportunity to go out and see her, I highly recommend, because it is... Lady Gaga is a class act. We've seen her now. I've seen her twice. You've seen her 3 times.
3 times, yeah.
If you ever have the opportunity to see Miss Gaga, you should take the opportunity because it's a treat. But me and Danya were at the concert. And
so scared.
We were really feeling silly. And I was really having a good time. But mind you, we were also sitting kind of low-key in the ceiling.
Yeah.
So we were like up high. And we were also up high. And Danya,
please, I did not think you were going to tell the story.
Oh, well, I have to.
It's so silly.
Danya was convinced that her tongue was that she was swallowing her tongue.
I thought my tongue was swelling 3 times its size. Like, it was giving hallucination.
And we also we drank wine too. So we were like really like, we were prepped and ready.
Exact. Yeah.
And Danya was sitting there convinced that she was choking on her tongue.
I was like, it was so crazy though, because I was like having the best time of my life. And then I was like, Parker, I'm swallowing my tongue.
And I was sitting there, I was like this.
Yeah. And then I would just kind of move on. Like, and then I kept bringing it up. It's like, for what reason? Like, it wasn't happening, obviously. But it was giving like mental spiral.
And then we Ubered back to our, we waited an hour and a half Uber line so that we could.
My shoes off.
Yeah.
Which is so sick of me to do in Vegas.
And this off the strip on. And we were like maybe a 7-minute walk away, but girl, we couldn't.
I was wearing crusted, busted shoes, which is a lesson. Like, invest in a good pair of heels, because these heels were so sick that I couldn't even walk a few minutes in them. Like, it's giving gutted.
Gutted and rotted diva doll. Let's see if there's anything. I mean, we just told so many stories. Like, should we just like really quickly recap on just, managing adult relationships and like long distance relationships? Like, what are our thoughts and comments?
Like, so many, like, we've grown up together in a weird way. So not in a weird way, in a great way, but it's like really interesting how people need to like shift their expectations of each other and like shift how the friendship looks, like depending on like the season of your life you're in, what you're going through. I mean, do you want to talk about just like how you were feeling in Ithaca, how I was feeling in LA, how you maybe felt like that affected like how you were as a friend in general, or our friendship specifically? Well,
I mean, I think we talked about this last night when we were like prepping for the episode. Like, where her time in LA was very mirroring my time in Ithaca, which I haven't talked a lot about my Ithaca experience on the podcast yet. I do plan on doing that in the month of September, which is literally next week. So I guess that episode is coming out soon, I guess. Back to school. But my Ithaca experience was a darker chapter of my life. And I was like very like in a depression moment. I was very in my bag, if you will. Experienced quite a bit out there, and also just living winter in upstate New York is just hell on earth. which is funny because it's literally the opposite of hell, which is hot. It was like frozen over ice tundra vibes. And I just was unable to, provide the dolls what they needed.
Mhm.
And I feel like your experience in LA, which was related to something completely different, but we were both in chapters where we needed to focus on ourselves and our own bag, and it kind of affected our ability to be a friend.
Yeah.
But I mean, as people who have been on both ends of it, because now I've done it and you've done it, and we've been on the receiving ends for each other, I will say myself where it's like, it's so understandable, and you just kind of like as a good friend, you just like let it happen. I don't want to say let it happen because that seems like pacifist, but like you have to just you show up for what they need when they need it.
But you know what I learned from that entire experience is like it's really interesting that both of us were not sharing outwardly with each other or with like our loved ones what we were going through. It was very like held in here, which in retrospect, like I'm like, oh my gosh, like I just need to talk to people like about what I'm going through, because then you'll get the support you need. But it's so hard. Like it's so much easier said than done. It's so hard to just be like really vulnerable and be like, there's some really dark and like sad things happening, like either in my own personal life, in my relationship, whatever it may be, that's affecting my ability to like function as a human and a friend. So it's like, how could you expect to like just kind of move through the day as a friend, as a parent, as a child, like any role that you're serving is just going to be so much more difficult to function. So you have to like compartmentalize, go into survival mode, and the only way to get through each day is to just kind of like push it off to the side until obviously it bubbles over, and like leaving Ithaca, me leaving a relationship and being like, this has got to change and I've got to talk to people about what's happening.
Learning lessons here.
Yeah.
And I mean, which is funny because like my Ithaca chapter and Danya's LA chapter were like not at the same time. They were like, there's probably a year-ish in between.
Yeah. Like more than a year.
Yeah, because yours was like 2020, 2020. Okay, so it was like a couple years actually in between. But a valuable lesson that I feel like really formed our adult relationship and friendship, which is, I mean, honestly, a lesson that I've gained so much from, and just like learning to be vulnerable and honest with my diva. And now that we've learned that, we probably tell each other too much, but I mean, who cares? So
and we'll be straight up like, hey, I'm kind of feeling upset about this.
Yeah,
but I'm not mad. I'm just telling you. How I feel.
Period. Yeah. And because it's like it's easier to just say how you feel rather than not, because it's literally awful to just keep it inside.
100%, doll.
But yeah, adult friendships and adult relationships are hard and challenging. You have to put more effort and energy into like what you say and what you do, and you have to be more intentional. About your time management and your time usage,
and also like be realistic with your expectations. Like friends can be long distance, they can be close distance, but you can't expect in your adult life for your bestie to be available 24/7 in the way that they were when you were in elementary school together or college, where you're like always seeing someone. It's just not like that anymore today. So, or as an adult, it's not like that. So you just have to like shift your expectations.
Period. I literally saw this exact thing on TikTok, like what you were just saying, where it was talking about the difference between like childhood friendships and adult friendships, and like where the effort, energy, and all the differences are. And the person on TikTok was saying like, when you're a kid, your friends are all people who you're experiencing life with, because you're all in the same setting. You're in school, you're in sports, you're in whatever. Like you're all in a contained setting where you're all experiencing the same life in front of you. So your friendship is formed around that, versus as adults, everyone has their own individual life, and you're choosing to spend time with each other and share those experiences with each other versus like having just being there out of convenience. So it's truly a lot more effort as an adult to be friends, but also it's, in my opinion, much more rewarding.
100%. If you don't want to make the effort, then like maybe that friendship has served its purpose, has run its course.
Period.
Maybe it's just not for you anymore.
And that's that on that, doll. But I mean, I don't have any. I mean, I guess I do have ex friends, but I mean, that would be a whole different episode to talk about ex friends. not me just remembering who.
Yeah.
I'm so stupid, you guys, that I literally forgot that Danya and I mean, do, I'm trying to like
This feels
ask
so
Danya.
juicy.
I'm trying to ask
Should bring
Danya.
it up.
Do you? I don't think so, but
No.
I'm like, do you think? I don't think they listen to the podcast.
They might.
Well, you know who you are if you listen to this. But I hope you're doing well, Miss Diva. But I just remember I was saying I don't have ex friends, and I literally do have quite a very.
We share one, so it works.
But all that to say about that story is me and Danya really laid down the law, and we popped off diva dolls to this one girl.
We set boundaries before we even knew what a boundary was.
Well, I don't even think we set boundaries. We just kind of read her for Phil.
That's true. But the boundary was, you're sick and twisted for that, so we're going bye-bye. Bye-bye, me love.
Bye-bye. But here's the thing. We didn't say bye. We said, come to us.
We said
we'll
we
figure it out.
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay. And then 2 days later it was, I've actually decided I don't think it's time for us anymore.
Yeah. It was like, okay, girl. Work.
So if you've had any ex-friend situations and you want to talk about ex-friends on this podcast, I would be more than happy to do an episode about that.
Yeah.
Because that's a whole topic we can talk about. But to wrap up this episode, I actually put out a question on my Instagram for you guys. I'm so sorry I did it a little bit later in the day, so I didn't get as many submissions as I could have if I gave it a full 24 hours. But because I have worms for brains, I forgot. And just life is crazy. So I put out on my Instagram, because this episode's all about friendship.
Just
it's the perfect blendship. When all great others have been forgot, ours will still be hot. Okay, so anyways, because this episode's about friendship, I put name your favorite iconic fictional friendship or favorite bestie pair. And what do you have a bestie pair off the top of your head? Like iconic duo that you think of when you think of iconic friends?
I think you and I are iconic friends. Iconic duo.
But this is fictional.
Oh.
I guess we're fictional, but
that's true. Not fictional. Every time I like fantasize about like, we talked about this yesterday, like an ideal friendship, it always just goes back to like pop stars. Like I'm imagining like Adele, Beyonce, and Ariana Grande, like all kind of like giggling and like getting coffee and hanging out and like just like laying down a track and like just doing some freestyle singing. But I don't think that's like actually happening. It's definitely not happening. Right. But like in my head it is. So that's like, I would live for just like all the pop diva icons. Like let's throw Celine Dion in there because we all know I'm a Celine Dion stan. Like I want them all to just be hanging and having a good time.
Period.
Yeah.
Well, to answer the question of what I think, when I think of the most iconic bestie duo, I think of Alana and Abby from Broad City. Because if you have not watched Broad City, you guys, like, I don't know what you're doing. Like, I always say, it's funny because I was telling Danny this when she first moved to New York. I was like, the people who move to New York think they're giving Sex in the City, but in reality, they're giving Broad City. Because I'm like, honey bunny, you don't have the funds to be Sex in the City. So like, and you're not living in Manhattan, you're living in Queens. So like, let's be real here.
Okay, drag them. I'm not living in Queens.
I know you're living in Brooklyn.
Period.
So not Manhattan, doll.
Okay.
Not Manhattan, me love.
And you're mad.
I mean,
me love.
Not mad at all. just spitting facts.
Are we fighting?
Are we in a fight on the podcast?
Are we fighting on the pod?
Let's get our fucking dukes up, doll, so we can fucking start swinging.
Those fucking boxing gloves, me love.
Honestly, would you guys watch a fist fight between me and Danya?
And
comment, subscribe.
Yeah, comment who you think would win in a fist fight between Parker and I.
Should we put it behind a paywall? Honestly,
a Patreon, a Parker's Pointless Podcast Patreon,
where it'll be a video footage of me and Danny in boxing gloves, fully head to toe covered
in the ring.
In a ring, but like fully covered in baby oil. So like we're glistening and shimmering and slippering and sliding. It's kind of giving like Pornhub.com.
Yeah.
But it's behind an $8 paywall.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in seeing that kind of content, let me know because girl, I'm willing to do anything.
For just $8 a month, you can see the dolls duke it out.
So to answer your guys' questions about favorite iconic friendships, not very many submissions because you all literally wish I was dead.
Yeah.
But several of you said this, which I fully agree with. I did not think of it, but I think it's iconic. Raven and Chelsea.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's Raven being the best Disney Channel show that's ever been on the Disney Channel. Raven and Chelsea are those girls. They're the funniest girls, and they are still friends to this day.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I stand.
We love
Raven Simone and Annalisa Vanderpool.
Yes.
Slay girlies. Glinda and Alphaba.
Okay, absolutely.
Wicked.
It's just so sad though. Do you know what I mean? Like
Oh,
how it ends.
yeah, not to spoil. But Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
It's giving.
They're besties. Obvi.
Period.
Yeah.
And that's kind of all the submissions because, again, I only put this on my Instagram story quite literally 3 hours ago. Fred and Barney. Wait, Fred?
Who's Fred and Barney from like the Flintstones?
Oh, yes.
Okay. I was thinking
You guys
Barney.
are so young.
Okay, listen. I was thinking Barney, like,
So young.
like I love you, you love me. And I was like, who's Fred on Barney? But okay, now I know who you're talking about. But I'm semi-familiar with, I'm more familiar with the animated, the cartoon version of the Flintstones more so than
there's
the live
Flintstones.
action.
The live action, like Viva Rock Vegas, is so good. We should watch it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm kind of down. So, like, comment, subscribe if you want to watch Viva Rock Vegas
watch
live.
party.
Okay, but let's wrap this episode up because it's been a whole hour of just tomfoolery and fucking shenanigans up in here. Truly, thank you so much to Miss Danya El-Kurd. Do you want to plug anything? Do you have anything you're working on? Anything you're planning? Anything you want people to follow you on?
I mean, feel free to try to follow me on social media. I have gone back on private because it just gets a little scary out there as a young woman in the city. But I am writing an original show, one-woman show / multiple woman show. So feel free to look out for that. And if you're in Orange County, I'm singing at OC Cabaret tomorrow night, but that's literally 24 hours notice. So no hard feelings if you don't come, but like work. It's giving bi-coastal. It's giving performer. It's giving
this episode's coming out on Wednesday and you're singing it on Tuesday. So that was kind of
work. So
retrospectively, watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, retrospectively, watch me when I post like a video of it.
And that's that on that, dolls.
That's that on that.
Just a reminder again, no new episode next week because me and Daniel will be at Beyonce. So please don't call, don't text, don't email, don't chat, don't DM.
Do not disturb.
Because we are literally going to be busy honoring our mother. Okay.
Yeah.
So no new episode next week, but there will be an episode coming soon after that about Beyonce and our whole experience there. So that's it on that, you guys. I hope you guys love and cherish your friends because friends are make the world go round. Danya, thank you so much for being here today. Illy girl.
Yeah,
me and Danya have been friends for 11 years and let's do 11 more. Why not?
Why not? Let's get a little crazy.
And we'll do a little recap in 11 years from now.
It'll be a Bravo reunion.
With Andy Cohen.
Yes, moderating and hosting.
Oh my gosh. And we'll be fighting.
Yeah.
Boxing.
Fist fighting, if you will.
Period, me love. All right, everyone. So thank you so much for listening to this episode. I'm so sorry again, it did not come out on Monday, but you know what? I have a life and I have things I have to do.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's it on that. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel or my Spotify page. Wherever you listen to this, please follow the page. I live, laugh, love the support. Again, if you have anything you ever want to hear me talk about, just let me know. You can DM me, you can text me, you can chat me, whatever you want. And I live to do it and I live to see it. So have a great rest of your day, you guys. Have a great week coming up. If you're going to Beyonce as well, girl, I'm praying for you just as much as I'm praying for myself. Can't wait to see your outfits. Can't wait to see what you do. If you're wearing silver, good for you. I'm not. So that's all I'm going to say. And you'll see the photos later. But I love you all so much. Thank you for listening. Have a great rest of your day. And that's that on that. Bye-bye. Thanks again for listening to this week's episode of Parker's Pointless Podcast. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave a review. Share this with a friend, or both. Can't wait to chat with you all again next week. This is your host, the daintiest doll in town, Parker, signing off. Bye.